Street Nerd TV. What up, though?
Today conversation gonna be about men's mental health, right? First couple of episodes we was kicking it, having some fun, messing around. But today I want to talk about something serious. Men's mental health, right? As a man, we carry certain responsibilities that goes unknown. Like we carry a lot. I don't care what race you are. We all the same. We're men. The world expect us to carry a certain level of responsibility, and then the women and the children that we have also have their guidelines of what that is, and sometimes that could be a lot to juggle all that, so what do you do? Where do you find your peace? How do you disconnect? Some people smoke, some people drink, some people podcast, some people garden. What do you do? I just want the men to find something that they like to do and make sure they do it from time to time. Because at the end of the day, you could put it all in. If you ain't get what you want, it's because you didn't get it for yourself. You can't expect nobody. In the book of Jamel, it says you can't expect you on other people. Don't expect you out of people. So as a man, you handle responsibility, you working, you grinding, you doing whatever it take. You know what I'm saying? You're making sure your family is straight. Make sure you take care of you. I always talk about this job I got right now. I say it's my first job, but I've had like small gigs before that throughout my timeline. But the job that I have right now really is like my very first real job. It got benefits and paid holidays and things like that. So when I say it's my first job, that's what I mean by that. But when I was like 13, 12, I used to work at this car wash, and it was a 4-man setup on vacuum. 4 doors. So you got one person per door. But if it's a 2-seater, the person on the front door does the front seat, and the person who does the back door does the back seat. And I was the person on the back door on the 2-seater, and I did the front, thinking that my man would have caught my back and did my part. I thought I was helping him out. But anyway, the customer ended up complaining that the back seat didn't get vacuumed. And the lesson that was learned was cover your own ass first, and then you could look out for somebody else. Make sure you cover yourself first. I think that should be taught amongst men. Like, cover yourself. Do for yourself first, because they gonna get what they want. They gonna get everything they need. Because that's what you getting up going to work every day for. They gonna get everything they want and need. But if you don't make sure you do something for you, you can't expect them to do it for you. So men's mental health, do something for yourself. Do something. Whatever it is, I would like to suggest making it something tangible, something that you can see, across the timeline. Not like an experience. Somebody's thing to do might be to go on a date. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Well, do something for yourself. Find a hobby. Collect baseball cards or something. Something. Start collecting some gym shoes. Do something. Find you something to do and just keep doing that. So find something that you happy doing and make sure you do that. You might not be able to do it all the time, but just make sure you do it from time to time. That's real. As a man going through some shit right now in life, some of this shit is just unbelievable. Like unbelievable. And I feel like, is this like the Truman Show? Sometimes I feel like I'm in the Truman Show. Like this shit is scripted. Impossible. Like no way. So I just thinking, I actually was thinking about calling off work tomorrow because mentally I was just like, fuck it. Like I should just take tomorrow off. I got a ton of shit I could do. I can actually get some stuff done. And I'm thinking if I get this stuff done, it's going to help me mentally be a little bit better or a little bit at ease. You know what I'm saying? But really, it's just like, man, fuck this shit. I don't want to do nothing. Sometimes I get like that. And most times I'm in the groove like I'm grooving. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting up, running to work. I'm there early. I get there. I can set up. Sometimes I'm in it, but sometimes I be like, fuck it. I had this conversation with my man D Smith. You know, y'all hear me mention D Smith. He was in conversations in previous episodes. We talked about the Diddy situation, but I would always tell my man D, like, yo, I'm the problem. Like, I know I'm the issue. I'm expecting people to understand who I genuinely am when people were not taught to genuinely know people. Like, how wrong am I to expect that out of people? When I know these group of people don't even carry the capabilities of understanding what that is and what can come from it. That's my issue. I be expecting me out of people. So, men's mental health, can you identify your issue? Mine is I be wanting me out of people. And I get them and I be let down. Like, damn. And it's all on me, because had I just took the person for who they was, or took the group of people for who they were, you know, I could have saved myself some time a little bit, you know, some money, some heartache, whatever. Men's mental health. We don't talk about that, you know. You imagine, dog, getting up, doing some shit you don't want to do, but you got to do it. Not you got to do it, but it's like, all right, this is what I'm doing right now. And you get there, don't want to do it, and you do it, and you come home, and you got to do it all over again. Like, shit weak as hell, like Truman Show type shit, you know. I used to drive Uber. I drove Uber from 2015 until like 2021. You know, that's Uber was one of the things that I was doing during that time period. Uber was very profitable at that time. I had the 20% contract. Um, I actually got my contract like the last day before it changed to the 28% contract. I'm not sure what it is right now, but I had the 20%. And in 2015, Uber was like new. It wasn't brand new, but it was fresh. It was fresh for sure. And them surges used to have multipliers. It wasn't dollars. It was, 1.3, 2.7, 6.6 in the middle of a blizzard. So I used to eat good, and I used to love that. I used to love driving Uber because you get to drive in areas or in places that you typically would never be in. I learned so much about Southeast Michigan because of Uber. I done been everywhere, and typically I'm just in the city on the west side for the most part. I'm good on the east, I go over there, but for the most part it just be Detroit, and like the surrounding Metro Detroit suburbs. But Uber had you everywhere. Flint. I done took somebody to Flint from the airport, you know what I'm saying, in the blizzard on the 6.6 surge, $433 ride in my pocket. Yeah, I got a deadhead back to the crib, but I've been out here for 2 hours and I done damn near made $500. Like, that type of money and that type of earning power is exciting for me. It's what drives me. It's like, okay, it's not more so a challenge, but you can set a goal to this. You can go out here. It's not a gamble. You're going to make something, but you got to learn how to work the logistics. And I was good at Uber. COVID changed the game. COVID, Valentine's Day 2020, I had made $360. It was like, oh, this is going to be a good year. Because I done did it for so long, I'm averaging $45,000, $55,000 a year, bring home cash, driving like 4 or 5 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? So no, I'm not balling, but I ain't working hard neither at that shit. I figured out like what time was good to drive, and I would do that, and I would do that shit 7 days a week, and I was meeting people, networking. Met a lot of contacts, a lot of get out of jail free cards. I done had everybody in my back seat. Okay, politicians, doctors, lawyers, reverends, you name it, janitors. from the least perfection to the biggest perfection, I done had them all in my backseat. Everybody done had car trouble and then had to call an Uber, you know. And when I got done driving Uber, I had like over 12,000 rides over the course of that time period from 2015 to 2021. And that money was exciting. It was like, you know, hustling in the streets. You got a product that you can move and you get paid for it. Like that adrenaline is it. You do a ride, and as soon as it's over, it show you how much you got paid. It's like $32. You like, hell yeah. Bing, bing, bing. And you got another ride. And you drop them off and you look down and it say $24. You like, man, what? I get 2 or 3 more of these. I can go to the crib and chill for the rest of the day for real if I wanted to. You know, especially, or if I got to go get the kids or, you know what I'm saying, shoot a run, let me hit 2 or 3 more of these rides. Bing, bing, bing. I done made $170, $200 real quick. You do 200 a day on Uber 5 days a week. That's a band. A week. It's 52 weeks. So that's automatic 52,000. That's not counting no weekends. Like, that's not counting no tips. Like, I was killing it on the Uber shit. But this job shit, man, this shit's so slow. This shit's so slow. So I commend the people who have always had jobs. You know, I don't know how y'all did it. I just got this job 3 years ago. So this is the first time in my life I've ever had the same employment for 3 consecutive years. How about that? One time, Tease.
Street Nerd TV. What up, though?
You know, that's major for me because I was like, Mr. Fuck getting the job. You know, I already had found my way. It would be a lot easier. Like right now I'm working 5 days, but we go back to 4 days, I can get my groove back, you know what I'm saying, a little bit, and I can still make a couple of extra dollars here and there doing some extra stuff. But right now, man, this job got my time so sold up, I ain't got time to drop a t-shirt off. Started a merch store, did a couple orders, and I fumbled on the shipping because I got to handle everything. So I done found the distributor. You know, you got to cut a middleman in. So I got better distribution now. So if you're hearing this, you want to order some merch, check the Shopify store, streetnerdtv.myshopify.com, and check out their merch. We got direct supplier shipping is at an all-time high. It's fast. You're gonna get your stuff, you know, within 2-3 days, 4 days at the latest. It's going right out the door. It's getting pressed up and it's out. So check the merch store. But yeah, this job thing, man, it's a different type of sandwich. So that, me as a man, I deal with that every day. Like I have a job. And for most people that's normal, but for me that's crazy. You know, it's slightly stressful. I'm getting gray hairs popping out in my beard. I ain't never had no grays ever until I got this job. I had a hairline until I moved in with my ex when we had the kids, and then I had to go bald. But I got this job and these grays started popping out. Like, damn, am I stressing or am I just getting old? What's really going on here? You know? So, man, shout out to everybody, all the men that's thugging through it, you know, struggling with your vice and praying to your God, dealing with your woman, raising your kids, battling your demons. You know, I just wanted to say, hold your head high, man. Keep marching. Brighter days are ahead. Brighter days are ahead. We just got to keep moving. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. I'm going to wrap this up. I just want to take the time to thank the people that's listening, all 5 of y'all. I got 5 listeners, y'all. I get the logistics. I got 5 listeners. And I appreciate y'all. Hang in there. I'm going to get some more content. Kentucky State University homecoming is the first week in October. I will be down there recording. We'll be live streaming. We'll be cracking jokes, you know, doing the KJ, street nerd type shit, you know what I'm saying? We got another trip planned before that, but I can't drop that info yet because that ain't confirmed. But for sure, homecoming, Street Nerd TV will be at Kentucky State University homecoming. It's a party going on Main Street, like in the 500 block of Main Street, right down the street. Book and them got that going. I'll post that info in the description. What else? StreetNerdTV.myshopify.com. You know what I'm saying? Check out that merch, man. We lit over here. And all the men, hold your head. Get on the merch store and get you a dad hat. I told you to find something, right? Find something that you like. Go to my merch store and find something that you like. Make sure you do something for yourself. Put that Street Nerd TV gear on, and that'll remind you, man, to hold your head. This King J, man. I'm out.